Type 1. Pumper fire engine, standard fire engine. Every fire starts small, but if it is not stopped quickly, it can grow fast and become extremely dangerous. That is why the pumper fire engine is always the first truck to arrive at the scene. But can just one truck really carry enough water and tools to fight a real building fire? It absolutely can. The pumper fire engine is the most important fire truck in almost every fire department around the world. A pumper fire engine usually carries a large water tank, holding around 500 to 1,000 gallons of water. It also has a strong fire pump that can push water through hoses at a very high pressure, often around 750 gallons per minute or more. Inside the truck, there is a pump control panel. Firefighters use it to control everything, like water pressure, water flow, and special modes when there are no hydrants nearby. Many modern pumpers also carry rescue tools like the jaws of life, which are used to cut open cars during accidents. Some even have medical equipment like AEDs for emergency first aid. But pumper fire engines have a long history as well. In the 1700s, early fire engines were operated by hand pumps. Later, in the 1900s, steam-powered engines made firefighting faster and more powerful. Today's modern version is called a triple combination pumper because it combines three things: water tank, fire pump, and hose storage, all in one vehicle. In cities like the US, pumpers are used every single day. They respond to house fires, building fires, road accidents, and many other emergencies. A pumper fire engine is not just a water truck. It is a moving rescue unit carrying firefighters, tools, and the first real chance to save lives and stop destruction. Yet some fires rise beyond ground reach, where water alone is no longer enough. That's where our Type 2 comes in. Type 2. Aerial ladder truck. When fire climbs high up tall buildings, can firefighters really reach the top floors? With aerial ladder trucks, they can. These trucks are special fire engines designed to reach extreme heights and rescue people from tall buildings safely. They have a long extendable ladder or boom that can stretch around 50 to over 100 feet high. The ladder can rotate a full 360 degrees, allowing firefighters to reach almost any side of a building. To keep the truck stable, it uses strong hydraulic supports called outriggers. These extend out from the sides and lock the vehicle firmly to the ground so it does not tip over while working at height. At the top of the ladder, there is often a platform or bucket where firefighters can stand safely while working. Many aerial ladders also have a water pipe built inside the ladder itself, ending in a nozzle at the top so water can be sprayed directly from above onto the fire. These trucks also carry ground ladders, axes, chainsaws, and rescue ropes for emergencies. Firefighters use them to break windows, cut obstacles, and reach trapped people quickly. However, there are different types of aerial trucks. Like straight ladders are used for tight streets. Tower ladders have large rescue buckets, and tiller trucks are designed for narrow city roads and sharp turns. Even some units, called quints, can also pump water like a fire engine. Still, even the tallest reach means little when there's no water supply at all. Type 3. Water tender/tanker fire truck. In rural villages and remote areas, fire hydrants simply do not exist. Yet fires still break out in farms, fields, factories, and isolated houses far away from city pipelines. To solve this, fire services use water tender trucks. These are not normal fire engines. They are designed to bring firefighting power into places where water infrastructure cannot reach. Water tenders are often called rolling fire hydrants because they carry massive water supplies directly to the fire ground. Most can transport around 2,600 to 5,000 gallons of water, depending on size and design. These trucks are built with large tanks and fast dump valves that can release around 2,000 gallons in under a minute into portable tanks. Smaller onboard pumps help transfer or refill water quickly at speeds of 250 to 750 gallons per minute. And instead of staying in one place, water tenders constantly move between water sources like rivers, ponds, or lakes in the fire site. This process is called shuttling, and it keeps water flowing without stopping the firefight. Some also act as nurse trucks, feeding water directly into fire engines through hoses. Tactical versions even use four-wheel drive so they can move through rough terrain during wildfires. In Australian farmlands and remote American countryside areas, water tenders are often the only reason firefighting is even possible. Without them, crews would simply run out of water within minutes. Now, even when water is available, some emergencies demand something far more powerful than just cooling flames. Type 4. Rescue/squad truck. Not every emergency is about fire. Sometimes people are trapped inside crushed cars, collapsed buildings, or dangerous spaces where fire is not the main problem anymore. Survival is. For these situations, fire departments use a different kind of vehicle, the rescue truck, also called a squad truck. Yet, when fire isn't the main threat, is this vehicle truly built to handle pure rescue situations? A rescue truck is a box-style fire vehicle designed to carry a huge amount of specialized equipment. Its design looks like a mobile toolbox on wheels, with compartments on all sides for quick access to tools. It also carries lifting airbags, cutting tools, ropes, and stabilization equipment for collapsed structures. The rescue trucks also include generators, floodlights, and communication systems so operations can continue even at night or in disaster zones. Some versions are walk-in style, where firefighters can enter the truck like a mobile workshop, while others are walk-around style, where tools are accessed from outside compartments. And they evolved because fire engines alone were not enough. As modern cities grew, accidents, building collapses, and complex emergencies increased. So fire departments created a dedicated unit focused only on technical rescue, not firefighting. But when the danger is not fire or impact, but uncontrolled burning across forests and open land, a completely different kind of fire engine is needed, one that can move where roads don't even exist. Type 5. Wildland Fire Engine. Fire spreads deep into forests, grasslands, and farmlands where roads are rough and water sources are far away. Who do you think actually goes in first to stop it? That job belongs to the Wildland Fire Engine, because they are special fire trucks built to fight fires in hills and rural open land where normal fire engines cannot reach. Wildland fire engines are smaller, lighter, and much more flexible than city fire trucks. Most are built on strong 4x4 or off-road chassis so they can climb steep hills, muddy paths, and narrow forest trails. They carry a smaller water tank, usually around a few hundred gallons, so the truck stays light and stable on rough ground. But what they lose in water size, they gain in movement and speed. One of their most powerful features is something called pump and roll. This means the truck can spray water even while driving slowly through fire zones, helping firefighters attack moving flames directly. Wildland engines are often the first units on scene. However, when fires become too dangerous to approach from the ground and spread near airports or crashing aircraft, the department uses another legendary engine, Type 6, Airport Crash Fire Truck, ARFF vehicle. We all know airports feel safe and controlled, but even there, accidents can happen. A single spark during landing, a fuel leak, or a crash can turn an aircraft into a massive fire scene in seconds. That is why airports are never without a special emergency response system. They are called ARFF vehicles, also known as aircraft rescue and firefighting trucks, and they are built only for aviation emergencies. These trucks are extremely fast and powerful. They can accelerate quickly and reach a crash site in seconds, even while fully loaded with thousands of gallons of water and foam. They carry large tanks filled with water, firefighting foam, and dry chemical agents designed to stop jet fuel fires, which burn much hotter than normal fires. ARFF vehicles use roof and front-mounted turrets that can shoot foam over long distances, quickly covering burning aircraft in a fire-suppressing layer. Some advanced trucks even have extendable piercing nozzles that can inject foam directly into aircraft cabins or fuel areas. They are also designed to drive off-road through debris, sand, or broken runway surfaces to reach passengers as fast as possible. Their main goal is not just to fight fire, but to create a safe path for evacuation, and every airport has strict rules on how many ARFF vehicles it must have, depending on aircraft size and traffic level, ensuring immediate response during emergencies. ARFF trucks don't wait for fire to grow. They strike immediately, because in aviation emergencies, every second decides survival. But some fires refuse to die, especially when fuel and chemicals keep feeding them. Type 7. Foam Fire Engine. Have you ever seen a fire truck spraying thick white foam over burning fuel or a massive industrial fire? That is not normal water. That is a special firefighting system designed for extreme fires. They are also called industrial fire engines or foam tenders, and they are designed to fight the most dangerous type of fire, basically fires involving fuel and flammable liquids. Instead of relying only on water, these trucks carry a special foam concentrate. When mixed with water, it creates a thick blanket that spreads over fire. This foam cuts off oxygen, traps heat, and stops dangerous vapors from igniting again. But foam firefighting did not start recently. It has been evolving for over a century. The first foam firefighting system was developed in the early 1900s to fight oil fires. Later, during the mid-20th century, advanced foam chemicals like AFFF made it possible to quickly control massive fuel fires in airports and industrial plants. And now, modern foam systems are becoming more environmentally friendly while still maintaining high effectiveness. Foam fire engines are used in oil refineries, chemical plants, fuel storage facilities, ports, and airports. Foam fire engines don't just put out fire, they suffocate it completely. So have you ever seen these fire engines in action? Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And next time you hear sirens, remember, some are built for speed and pursuit. You might want to see what they are really chasing next.